After slaying the guardian of the great gods, Lu Fan stood silently amidst the ruins, his cold gaze fixed straight ahead. Even the air felt heavy, as if the battlefield still trembled in fear of the power he had just unleashed. Behind him, the mighty star dragon surged forward instantly, its massive wings slicing through the sky as it followed its master without a moment's hesitation. Witnessing what had just transpired, Ji-yan was left utterly dumbfounded. His eyes widened in sheer disbelief. He had never imagined that Lu Fan could obliterate such a formidable entity with a single strike. After a long silence, Ji-yan finally spoke in a trembling voice. "Lu Fan, did you clear out that hidden stronghold before we even arrived? Was that the same monster you encountered back then? Or have you not yet found the secret entrance?" Lu Fan remained composed. There was no trace of pride on his face, only a deep, distant gravity. "That creature," he said softly, "is the shadow guardian of the ancient god." For a brief moment, memories of the past flashed before his eyes. The first time I met it, I had just joined the Griffin Corps. Hearing Lu Fan speak about it so casually, Ji-han was completely stunned. Since Lu Fan had already established contact with the ancient god, even grandfather treated him with immense respect. Realizing this, Ji-han immediately jumped down from his three-legged crow, his expression filled with shock and disbelief. But at that very moment, the shadow dragon began to regenerate once again. Within seconds, the terrifying creature came back to life completely and surrounded Lu Fan from every direction. Its severed limbs and shattered cells started reconnecting rapidly. Earlier, Lu Fan had sliced the monster into countless pieces, yet now those scattered fragments slowly crawled back together as if they possessed a life of their own. A suffocating darkness spread across the surroundings. An overwhelming pressure descended from the sky, heavy enough to make breathing difficult. Just as expected, the shadow dragon was reviving once again. And this was already its third resurrection. However, at that exact moment, the poison dragon revealed its terrifying world-level ability. A deadly poisonous slime spread through the battlefield. A horrifying power capable of reducing any target's defensive capability by 50% for 10 full seconds. The instant the skill activated, the toxic slime exploded outward and completely engulfed the divine guardian. At the same time, the star dragon moved. Without hesitation, it unleashed its most feared technique. Stormy Prison. In an instant, a devastating icy storm swallowed the entire area. Freezing winds roared violently across the battlefield before crashing directly into the shadow dragon like a natural disaster. But the battle was far from over. Amid the raging storm, the shadow dragon activated another terrifying ability, Shadow Burst. Countless dark blades erupted through the air. The moment those shadow blades were released, everything in their path was torn apart instantly. The shadows themselves shattered into pieces mid-air. Bodies broke apart before they could even react, and fragments rained down onto the ground like falling debris. Watching this overwhelming battle, Ji-han was completely speechless. His heart trembled as he stared at Lu Fan. I was risking my life in this battle. But Lu Fan, he's handling this entire situation as if it were effortless. The moment the shadow dragon reconstructed itself for the fourth time, the star dragon finally unleashed its ultimate authority, the power of judgment. A terrifying beam of energy pierced through the battlefield like divine punishment itself. The attack tore straight through the target, ignoring even 50% of its remaining defense. And then within only a few seconds, blood burst violently from the shadow dragon's body before it collapsed heavily onto the ground. Ji-han stood frozen in disbelief. It was dead. Truly dead. He could hardly understand what he had just witnessed. How did it end so easily? But suddenly, the shadow dragon's shattered body began reconnecting once again. For the fifth time, just as Lu Fan had predicted earlier, every resurrection weakened its physical strength. This time, after reviving, the once terrifying monster had become drastically smaller. Its massive dragon form was now barely larger than a tiny rat. The instant it stood up again, Lu Fan gave no reaction at all. Instead, his star dragon immediately charged forward. At this point, the shadow dragon no longer looked like a legendary monster. It looked pitiful. The star dragon rushed after it for a short distance, almost as if it were mocking the creature before casually crushing it beneath its enormous claw. Silence covered the battlefield. Lu Fan and Ji Han simply stood there, watching everything unfold before their eyes. Then suddenly a notification appeared from the system. The ancient god's shadow guardian has been eliminated. And the moment the guardian finally disappeared, a piece of black cloth suddenly materialized in the air before them. Turning back, Lu Fan calmly said to Ji Yan, "When this creature is truly killed, it leaves behind its shed skin. Take it with you for research. It may help us discover a way to deal with the ancient gods." Ji Yan stepped forward slowly before letting out a defeated sigh. "Second uncle and grandfather were right. It really is you." He lowered his head slightly. "You really are incredible." But beneath that calm voice, rage burned deep inside him. His fists clenched tightly as humiliation slowly consumed him from within. After a brief silence, Ji Yan suddenly made a strange request. "Lu Fan, can you show me how many beasts you've killed?" Lu Fan did not answer with words. Instead, he silently revealed a glowing badge. 304201. The moment Ji Yan saw those numbers, his expression froze completely. More than 300,000 beasts killed. His breathing grew heavy. No wonder. Has he already reached level 90? Compared to that overwhelming number, Ji Yan suddenly felt painfully insignificant. After all, he himself had only managed to kill 6,113 beasts. At that moment, Ji Yan finally understood something. This was not merely a defeat, it was a crushing humiliation. A gap so enormous that he could not even see a way to surpass it. After silently accepting his loss, Ji Yan took out an extraordinary ring and tossed it toward Lu Fan. As soon as Ji Yan handed over the ring, a bitter thought surfaced deep within his heart. Only someone with power like this, only someone capable of standing above monsters, gods, and death itself, was truly worthy of the title, the Protector of the Crows. And now even he had finally accepted that truth. Lu Fan caught the ring calmly in his hand before glancing at it quietly. "This is truly priceless," Lu Fan said softly. "We had already reached the same conclusion about this matter." Ji Yan gave a faint smile filled with exhaustion. "To be honest, this ring belongs to the three-legged crow. The fact that it possesses such extraordinary quality is proof enough of its importance." His gaze slowly lowered toward the battlefield behind them. "If you hadn't appeared today, this ring would have remained on my corpse, and I would already be dead." For a brief moment, silence surrounded the two of them. Then Ji Yan continued, "Besides, I am second uncle's successor. I place my trust in strategy and leadership, not in a single magical artifact." He paused before looking directly into Lu Fan's eyes. "But you are the flame of the Dragon Nation." His voice became heavier with every word. "It is your destiny to stand against the ancient gods." Lu Fan remained silent. He simply stood there quietly, listening to every word Ji Yan spoke as the cold wind swept across the ruined battlefield around them. Ji Yan continued in a calm but serious voice. "My grandfather gave this ring to me, but its true value can only be proven in your hands on the battlefield." A faint smile appeared on Lu Fan's face. "All right then," he replied softly, "I'll accept it." Without hesitation, he placed the ring onto his finger and slowly raised his hand into the air. The moment he did, a brilliant light burst outward in every direction. The entire area was instantly illuminated by an overwhelming golden radiance. This truly is a life-saving artifact. A treasure capable of protecting its owner from countless dangers, Lu Fan thought silently to himself. Then suddenly, the ring erupted with power. A deafening wave of energy spread across the battlefield as the legendary three-legged crow finally appeared. But the instant the creature manifested, even Lu Fan was stunned. The SS Crow had completely acknowledged him as its new master. And this was the legendary Golden Crow. "I've worn this ring for so long," Ji-Yan murmured quietly, "yet I was never truly able to control it." High above the sky, the three-legged Golden Crow spread its enormous wings and soared through the air while terrifying flames burned around its body like a miniature sun. Then it attacked. Boom! A violent explosion shook the entire area as the rocky entrance ahead shattered apart instantly. Seeing this scene, Ji-Han was once again overwhelmed with shock. At that moment, he realized something terrifying. What? This Golden Crow looked exactly like his grandfather's legendary beast. Elder Zhou's ring is unbelievably powerful. The Golden Crow summoned by it possesses strength comparable to Tao Ji after reaching his third advancement. The battlefield slowly fell silent once again. Then, after a few moments, a blazing fire suddenly appeared at the entrance ahead.